pretend that it never happened. It's not newsworthy. If, however, white...
Exactly. What is up, guys? Now, this is Ben Shapiro talking about the Highland shooting that just happened. It's a mass shooting that just happened. We just watched Kamala Harris's, thing on it. And honestly, I was kind of disappointed. She said, "I'm sorry." And she just said that for like about 2 minutes. And that's it. Like, she kept repeating the same exact thing over and over again. Let's see what Ben Shapiro has to say. Hopefully he says something better. Let's see.
The fact is that because we hold nothing in common, it now seems as though every blemish on the body politic, every wound is not just a scratch or a scrape on an underlying healthy body. Instead, they're all symptomatic of something that can kill us, which is an underlying conflict. So, for example, there shouldn't be anything in America more unifying than the grief we all feel and share when a crazy person, when a person who clearly is mentally ill, seriously mentally ill, murders innocent people. Like, that is one where that should be pretty unifying, right?
I think we can all agree on that, right? We can all agree on that.
We should be all on the same page about this. Evil people are evil. People doing evil things is bad. We all agree on that. Instead, now every time there's a mass shooting, we first determine the politics of the mass shooting, and then we determine how we feel about the mass shooting. So,
I think he's talking about gun reform. I agree on that too. Before we even get unified, we have to talk about if we should ban these types of guns, if we should do this and that. Okay, I get where he's going.
According to the media, if it's a mass shooting in downtown Chicago on the South Side, like every single weekend, we don't even cover it because that's not news. Because to cover it, especially if it includes black people, and really only if it includes black people, because this is how the media treat it, to cover it would sustain bad notions about race in the United States. We won't even cover it.
He's not wrong. It's black on black, black on black crime every single day. It is black on black crime every single day. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody even talks about it. It's like a regular occurrence, that just happened. Police don't even really investigate it. I'm pretty much from the hood. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It is what it is.
We'll just pretend that it never happened. It's not newsworthy. If, however, white...
Exactly. This right here, it wasn't newsworthy. True. Man, 4th of July weekend was not pretty for Chicago, man. It was pretty bad. Didn't hear really anything about it. I mean, I guess we did hear about the mass shooting, except we didn't hear about like the actual other crime that happened that night in Southside Chicago. A lot of shootings happened that night. That's all I got to say.
Because every single wound on the body politic has to immediately polarize, immediately. So this example from Chicago is just an amazing example. So here on this show, because we actually still believe in unity over things like evil people are evil and we shouldn't give them the time of day, we don't mention the names of mass shooters. The entire media not only mentions the names of mass shooters, we show their faces. Every other media outlet
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, that guy, I was surprised he looked like that, I'm going to be honest. I didn't think he would look like that.
know of. Every other major media outlet I know of reports the names, the agendas, the manifestos, everything they can about these mass shooters, which of course drives other mass shooters to want to get famous.
Yeah, that is true. That guy did not look like he was sorry at all. He looked like he was happy to get discovered. He looked like he was happy to actually see, just to see stuff. He just looked like he was happy. Like, oh, I'm getting noticed. At least up in the mugshot. Like I said, I didn't think the guy looked like that. It was pretty surprising. Let's keep seeing what we got to say.
Famous and then do it again. And then the media, oh, why is this happening? Must be the guns. Well, maybe you guys ought to take a look in the mirror sometime. We are so meticulous about this that if I accidentally mention the name of a mass shooter from 10 years ago on this program, my editors will go back and cut it at my behest. If we can, if it's not live, right? This is a thing that we do here at the company because we are very careful.
That's pretty serious. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it that serious? I don't know.
Careful about this stuff. So I report to you only the things that I think are necessary for you to understand the story. I don't think the name of these mass shooters is a thing that is necessary to understand the story. I don't want them to be famous. I want them to be obscure and rot in hell where they belong as a general rule.
You know, that is a very good point. You just made a very good point right there. I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty good point. That why would you give them why would you give them can't even say it. Why would you give them publicity? Why would you give them publicity even if, they did something horrendous like that? Like, every single person that I've seen actually report on this, like actually report on it, they have given a name. They've given, locations, some of the victims. It's not good.
So, in this particular case, the person who is responsible for this horrible mass shooting in Highland Park that killed 6 people and wounded 38 others, this person is obviously an insane person. The reason I say obviously an insane person is because I know that we're not allowed to say this, but if you act like an insane person in society, we can generally assume you're an insane person. Call it the insane person rule. To pretend that this person...
They say it's mental health illnesses. It's mental health. Earlier when I was going to talk about this, I didn't make a video. I'm just reacting to this because I think it's easier. I'm still pretty new to this. So, in order to, how do I say, formulate my thoughts on it a bit better, it would be good to piggyback off of other people, I think, at least until I get my footing with this type of internet stuff, or whatever. So pretty much earlier, I was just grappling with the fact that should we keep saying it like it's a mental health thing, or should we actually call these people insane? Like, should we actually say that this is not a good thing? They're bad, evil, or to say mental health? Should we just say mental health? I don't know.
Person is not a crazy person is to ignore the evidence of your own eyes. This person posted evidence on social media of how crazy he is. Here is, for example, we're going to show you an extremely creepy video of this person. Okay, this is a creepy video of this person simulating a mass shooting in a school. This is an insane person. I don't know. There's no better catch-all term for this. I don't know what form of mental illness this person suffers from. This is not a sane and normal human being. I know we also shy away from the word normal in today's society. Normal meaning statistically normal. This is not a statistically normal human being. There is a normal. This person is not it. Which means that any attempt to politicize this is ridiculous. But here is a video of this person that we're supposed to ignore on behalf of the idea that this person was a Trump supporter. This is something they tried to pitch last night. I don't like this sort of stuff at all. Again, I don't blame Bernie Sanders when a Bernie Sanders supporting crazy person shoots up Congress people at a baseball game. I don't blame Barack Obama when a Black Lives Matter supporting crazy person shoots up.
That is true. A lot of my family last year, they figured out that I voted for, 45th President Trump. They figured out that I voted for him. And they were showing me these videos of, I guess, Trump supporters like harassing people. I'm like, that's pretty messed up, except I was just thinking, like, I can show you countless videos of like Black Lives Matter people like burning down buildings of other black people, like they were burning down buildings. They were just, I don't know, man. It was just pretty bad. All around it was bad. It wasn't good. But again, at that point, that's just a pissing contest. Don't even try to entertain it.
Dallas police officers. And I don't blame Donald Trump when a crazy person who believes that they're a Donald Trump fan goes and does math. But in this case, there's not even evidence that the person was super political in any way. The person apparently had postings from the left. The person apparently had postings from the right. But it doesn't matter.
We don't know. We don't even know anything about his motivations, right? I don't think so. So why even entertain that type of whatever?
The person's crazy. Okay, so here is the actual video of the person. Is a crazy person. Is a person reaching into a bag for a gun, okay, and then walking through. Stuff.
Is this the guy? Is this him? The guy that did it?
That hysterical laughter, if you can't see this person standing in a classroom, dropping bullets on the floor. It looks like bullets. Walking through, it's like a full-built set. Standing in front of an American flag. Okay, this is creepy stuff. This is a crazy person. Okay, this is an insane person who wants attention. And the media will give him as much attention as he could possibly want. They'll mention his name over and over. They'll plaster his face.
Wait, so this is the guy. So this right here is the guy that actually did the mass shooting. Wow. Yeah, this was intentional. This was complete. Okay, wow. I didn't know all of this. Wow.
Which is a crazy person I'm going to say it again. This person is mentally ill. It is obvious this person is mentally ill. To pretend otherwise is ridiculous. There must have been red flags galore. So the big failure here, if we're going to talk about bipartisan failure, where are the people around this person reporting them to the police? Apparently, this person was known to the police.
He was known to the police? Like, what? And also, back to that, he just said it right there, mental illness. Is it mental illness or is it just insanity? Like he said, insane. I think, people just say what it is. It'd be easier. Because I think mental illness is like a bit different than just being crazy, just being actually crazy, which I guess is a mental illness, but except let's not use that term because that's like a polite way of actually saying that these people are, need help, which I guess they do. But come on, man, you know what I mean.
We now know that. This person performed as a rapper and whose recent music videos included
a rapper?
depictions of mass murder. This person's most recent video posted to YouTube showed him in the aftermath of a school shooting. It ended with this person draping himself in an American flag. Another music video showed a cartoon depiction of a man wearing a shirt with his YouTube channel's logo on it, holding a long gun, being shot by the police.
Man.
This is not a shock when people like this do evil and terrible things. Apparently, the father had described this person as having emotional issues. Apparently, he used to ride up and down the block on a motorized scooter playing extremely loud music for attention.
I see a lot of people in the hood doing that too, though. That's kind of regular, at least in the hood. I don't know about other cultures. I'm pretty sure it's not. But, out here, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're insane or crazy or anything different for doing that, at least out here. So I don't know about that one, but let's keep going. That's not like a red flag is what I'm trying to say, I guess up in the white community it would be, I guess. I don't know.
And again, WGN is reporting this person was known to police. So immediately, this breaks down into person was a Trump supporter. The evidence that this person was a Trump supporter, supposedly, is that this person took a video of themselves at some sort of Trump rally. And at the Trump rally, the person is wearing a Where's Waldo outfit. So is the person just a troll or a joker? It seems so. Because this is what crazy online people do. He's wearing Where's Waldo outfit, and so the entire left went Trump supporter. Well, that means that Trump's bad and the right is bad, and therefore we can blame our neighbor for the evil of an insane person. That's a symptom of a country that's breaking down. When your first move is, how do I blame my fellow American for this sort of stuff? And again, every one of these stories.
That is true. Why are you blaming Trump supporters for a mass shooter? Why are you blaming Trump supporters for a mass shooter? That doesn't make any type of sense at all. Mass shooters are actually insane. I want people to realize that. Most likely they were motivated by other insane people, other mass murderers, not actual regular law-abiding citizens. You know what I mean? They were not. They couldn't have been. At least I refuse to believe that. If that's the case, man, I don't know.
Stories breaks down this way. So this is why, for the left, this immediately breaks down into talk over gun control. Because on gun control, you can blame your neighbor for something that your neighbor had nothing to do with. This is why the left will say things like the NRA is to blame for mass shootings, or your neighbor who's...
Makes zero sense. Please don't say that. That makes zero sense. That makes zero.
A law-abiding citizen who owns a long gun is responsible for a school shooting. So Joe Biden immediately released a statement, of course, calling for more gun control because he is a hammer in search of a nail when it comes to gun control. The statement says, Jill and I are shocked by the senseless gun violence that has yet again brought grief to an American community on this Independence Day. As always, we are grateful for the first responders and law enforcement on the scene. I recently signed the first major bipartisan gun reform legislation in almost 30 years into law, which includes actions that will save lives. But there's much more work to do, and I'm not going to give up fighting the epidemic of...
What did he say? Wait. Man. Let's keep going. Wait, what did he sign? Actually, hold on, wait. No. I gotta look after this video, after I'm finished reacting to this, I'm gonna look that up really quick and talk about that, whatever he signed, because no.
Gun violence. Again, he only releases statements like this when a bunch of white people get shot, or unless a white supremacist shoots a bunch of black people. That is the only time that Joe Biden ever sounds off on issues like this. Meanwhile, the Illinois governor, J.B. Pritzker, He says it's time to talk gun control because it's always time to talk gun control. Is it a day ending in Y? Time to talk gun control. Let's do it.
I'm furious that children and their families have been traumatized.
I hate politicians. I hate them.
I'm furious that this is happening in communities all across Illinois and America.
It's just the fact that you can't talk like a person that I just don't like about politicians. You can't talk like a regular human being. You cannot talk like one.
I'm furious because it does not have to be this way. And yet we as a nation, well, we continue to allow this to happen. While we celebrate the 4th of July just once a year, mass shootings have become our weekly, yes, weekly American tradition.
Is that true? Weekly? I don't know. I haven't heard weekly. I haven't heard of like a mass shooting weekly. It's about at the same time I don't really pay attention to the news like that. You know, I don't really pay too much attention to the news. So if anybody watches this video, it is one of my first ones. Let me know.
There are going to be people who say that today is not the day, that now is not the time to talk about guns. I'm telling you, there is no better.
Nobody is saying that. I'm pretty sure nobody is saying that. I don't think so. That's a bit strange if you do. Why would you? Well, I mean, what, 4th of July? I mean, who cares? I mean, you know, I like 4th of July, but except like, who cares? Like, you know, about the gun thing.
Better day and no better time than right here and right now.
Really, there's no better day and no better time to talk about it than like immediately while the bodies are still in the streets. That's like the very best time of all the times to talk about.
Okay, he made a good point. All right, that was a good point, though. All right, we'll keep going now. That was a good point.
This sort of stuff is the time to talk about gun control. By the way, Illinois has extraordinarily heavy gun control laws. Chicago has extremely, extremely heavy gun control laws.
Very. I live out here. Very ridiculous. It took whatever. That's a whole other story.
Tammy Duckworth, the senator from Illinois, she's doing the same thing. She's talking about how we have to get rid of assault weapons.
I was just on the phone with Senator Durbin, who is driving here as quickly as he possibly can to come to Highland Park. And he also sends his condolences and his thoughts. And, you know, he and I recently in the Senate last month proved that bipartisan compromise on gun safety is possible. Today, we have seen that we can't just stop there. We have to do more to keep our communities safe. We have to get rid of assault weapons, high-capacity magazines, and so many other additional common-sense reforms that wide majorities of Americans are crying out
That's not going to happen. No.
for.
Okay, it's always there's a blemish on the body politic, graver cancer in the body politic. Gun rights are bad. State differentiation on the basis of gun rights are bad. Remember, she's a federal official. She's a senator. At least Pritzker is a governor. She's a senator. She doesn't make domestic Illinois law. She's a federal senator. The same left will call for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court's very bad. Right? Doesn't matter. There's a right to keep and bear arms in the Constitution of the United States, which was designed to prevent the federal government from getting involved in these issues. The left wants the federal government. Joe Biden wants to be involved in these issues. That is no longer a principle that we hold in common. How's this for a title? Ben Shapiro Show subscriber
Well, that was pretty much the video, guys. That's a bit strange. I'm not gonna lie to you. How do I say this? Like, why are they trying to divide the country with such a tragedy? Why not just, you know, say, hey, we should all fight against this, both parties, Republicans, Democrats, all of it. I'm neither, by the way. I'm mostly independent, lean a bit more conservative, if you want to know. I mean, I don't know. Watching this type of video, you might want to know. But it's just so strange to me. I hope they don't really like try to use this as like an excuse to actually try to ban assault rifles, though. Like, because that'd be kind of crazy. Don't fall for that, okay? But all right, man. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Jay Dottie. New to the scene. Peace.